It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Tuesday show, May 16th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon out today. I'll be back tomorrow. Up on the big desk once again, the great Thomas Mazawey.
Everybody put up your ones. Put up your ones. Tonight's our night. All we have to do is get past that fifth pick. When they pull that ticket for number 5, and if they don't say Pistons, we're getting the number 1 pick.
Look at you, Tom Mazawey. We'll get into that a lot. Let me say good afternoon to the great JB, Jeremy Bryant, and of course, Sam Flannel is in the booth with us today as well. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? You guys good today?
Oh yeah, I mean this is draft lottery day, so this is a very, very big day at the network. Hopefully we have a celebration tomorrow on all shows. That would be ideal, but it's just a very, very fun atmosphere, very, very festive day. Always happy to be here.
Want to shout out Jeremy Bryant, JB as we affectionately call him. Everybody works hard here at the network. This guy's all over the place. JB works on the morning show. JB works on our show. JB works on the heavyweight show. JB, we love you. I just want to give you a little extra love today at the top of the show because
I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
No matter what job you are thrown, no matter what comes your way, you are always there to attack it with a smile. And we were just talking, Maz, a little bit about just an attitude.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the Pistons today, and of course, JB's wearing the Cade Cunningham jersey and the horse's hat, the hat today. That's all good. But I am going to think about this positively and try to manifest the number 1 pick tonight. Not going to complain about it. I'm going to try to manifest.
Just get by 5.
Oh, God.
The reason I say that is because they have a 50% chance of getting the pick at number 5.
Actually, it's a 47.87%
even better.
Chance
That's
to get the 5th pick.
We'll take that.
The Detroit Pistons have an 11.97 chance of getting the 4th pick, a 12.74 chance of getting the 3rd pick, 13.42% chance of getting the 2nd pick, and of course a whopping 14% chance to get the number 1 overall
alongside
pick.
the Rockets and Spurs, who each of them have 14% shot at number 1.
Hey, before you just jam it in there, Maz, I'd like to address the bowling night situation.
Yeah, I'm not jamming anything.
If you're trying to jam in a little sports talk, I'm trying to have a little fun with you.
Well, bowling is sports
top
talk.
of the show.
It's bowling night, and I almost forgot that it was bowling night because I had tickets to the Tigers-Pirates tonight.
You love the Buccos.
I love the good young teams like Tampa Bay. I just adore them. And I like what the Pirates are doing. Hey, man, the Tigers, they're trying. They don't have the talent, but they're trying. But it's bowling night. It's Tuesday.
So you were telling me before the show, I said, what's the best game you ever threw? You threw a $2.99 game.
I threw a $2.99 game. My last game sanctioned in New Jersey before I moved here 30 years ago.
So that's for the people out there that don't know how bowling is scored. You threw 11 strikes in a row, and on the 12th ball,
yes,
you blew it.
I did. I left. I didn't throw a great shot. I was nervous as hell, and I left the 7 pin, which is not a pin you want to leave as a right-hander. If you leave the 10 pin, then you really hit the pocket good. If you leave the 8 pin, that's a solid hit. If you leave the 9 pin, that's a solid hit. 7 pin, it's okay. But you know what? $2.99. I have a ring for it, and I got friends that have bowled, 10, 12, 20, 50, 300 games. And I'm just looking. I just want one.
So you were trying to get Justin Slanik, one of the heads, if not the head of graphics department here at Woodward Sports.
JS loves bowling.
You were trying to get him in your league tonight. Do you need people in your league?
We need one bowler in our league to complete the 16-team league. It's a 4-man team. It's a good league. So if you're like 160 and above, that would do.
What if you were between a 90 and a 105?
It's probably not the league for you, this particular league. But I have a league for you for that. Yeah. You and Nicole.
Now you're gonna be excited if you hit a couple of turkeys tonight.
Hit a couple turkeys. I want all turkeys,
all
man.
Turkeys.
All across the board. I want 4 of them.
Then you get a 4-bagger if you do that.
I want 4 turkeys in a row, which is a perfect game.
Perfect game.
There you go.
Very good. Hey, guys, we've got a really, really packed show for you today.
Yeah, we do.
Rod Beard, assistant sports director, assistant sports editor of the Detroit News, former Pistons beat reporter, is going to join us. Absolutely. In about 23 minutes from now, at the top of the hour, we're going to talk a little Lions, publisher of all Lions on SI.com, with John Doc Maakaron at Detroit Podcast. He is. And then coming up at 3:30, we'll talk to Andy Appleby, owner and CEO of the USPBL locally here in Utica.
Fun league.
Absolutely. Opening weekend at Jimmy John's Field this weekend. And we'll talk to him. Year 8 of that league. 46 players from that league have gone on to play
I love it.
professional baseball, or excuse me, Major League, for Major League Baseball organizations. 4 of them all the way to the top and played in the actual majors. Absolutely. So we'll talk to him coming up about that league. But as you mentioned, Maz, without further ado, it is all about the Detroit Pistons early on here tonight. Is tonight the night the trajectory of this franchise will take? Victor Wembanyama is probably the most
sought after
pick at number 1 since LeBron James.
Absolutely. No question about that.
In 2003, we have not had a number 1 overall pick gain this type of traction since LeBron James
20 years.
In 2003. It's just the case. And whatever you think of this 7'5" unicorn who can do it all. He can score, he can shoot, he can dribble, he can pass, he can protect the rim. We're going to find out tonight. He immediately impacts your franchise. Whether he turns out to be a bust or not, he's going to get if the Pistons get the number 1 overall pick tonight, Maz, they're going to have season ticket holders on standby.
No
season
question.
ticket, not volunteers, but phone operators, sales consultants.
They'll be busy at Little Caesars.
Sales reps. That's what I'm looking for. But we'll find out. And they don't have a great chance to get it. They don't have a great chance to get the number 1 overall pick.
They have as good a chance as any of the top 3 teams.
They've got a 52% chance to get a top 4 pick and a 47% chance to get the number 5 pick, as you mentioned. And it happens tonight.
Here's the thing. 20 years ago when the Pistons, when LeBron James was taken by the Cavaliers, that was the year that really impacted this franchise, if you think about it. Because who was on the clock at number 2? It was the Detroit Pistons. And they took Darko Milicic. If they had taken any of those other superstars, who knows where this franchise would be today. So that was a special day 20 years ago. And here it is now. They have an opportunity to be that Cleveland Cavalier team and get the number 1 basketball player in the country, in the world. Right here to Detroit. I think it would be, I really think it's our time. I think everything comes together. What is Detroit? Detroit is a French city. Am I correct? I've been reading everybody put that out. Detroit is a French city. This kid's French. It's just, I don't know what it is, man, but the Pistons made a wrong turn 20 years ago. This is their chance to redeem themselves going forward.
And this is the quickest chance to be good again, to be relevant again. And this franchise has not been relevant in an awful long time. You know, what's interesting is we talk about number one picks. And oh, by the way, the Detroit Pistons did have the number one pick just a couple of years ago in Cade Cunningham. Colin Cowherd said today, I was driving in listening to his show, and it was striking to me, and I actually wrote it down. I voiced it in my phone, and I wanted to share this with you. Colin today said, Cade Cunningham, 0 impact, not a bust, but nobody cares.
Wow.
That's a quote from Colin, and he's absolutely right. What impact, real legitimate impact, has Cade... Now, I know he got hurt, okay? I know he got hurt. But, Sam, you had the reaction here. What is the actual impact to season tickets, to relevance in the NBA, to any buzz about the Detroit Pistons? How many people nationally fear or have any buzz about the fact that Cade Cunningham was the number 1 overall pick of the Detroit Pistons in 2021?
I mean, when you put it that way, Colin Cowherd certainly has a point. And it's different with that draft versus this one right now, because the Cade Cunningham draft, we all love him as a player. We all saw what he did as a rookie, but nobody really thinks that he can be a perennial MVP, the best player in the NBA. But with Victor Wembanyama, that's a little bit different. Here's a guy, a unicorn, the likes of which we've never really seen before. I was doing the show Big D Energy before, and Spencer Raxter mentioned, and I will back him up on this, that Victor Wembanyama is like a taller Kevin Durant with a less polished offensive game but better defensively. So the ceiling with that guy is best player in the world, top 10 player all time, franchise changing overnight. Cade Cunningham, we all love him. I think he's going to be great, multiple time All-Star. But Colin Cowherd, he's not as it hurts when you first hear it, but it's not that far off base.
Yeah, and again, he's not saying he's a bust. He's a fine player and will be a fine player. But is he going to be somebody that is the number 1 option that leads your franchise to a world championship?
He's going to be an excellent player on a great team, on a team coming up, a young team. Here's the thing. JB's wearing his jersey. So there is some impact here in Detroit. Remember, he had the Buffs on when he got drafted. He was a proud guy to be here in Detroit. Look, they shut him down last year. They tanked. We know that. He could have played later in the year. There's no need for it. He rested up. He had his operation on the shin. And this year will be the year. The reason that Colin Cowherd and these other guys haven't heard of Cade Cunningham or haven't really paid attention to him is because he only had 1 year. He had his rookie year.
By the way, he said the same thing about Paolo Banchero. And I'm not trying to crap down Cade Cunningham's throat today, or I'm not trying to crap on Cade Cunningham at all. What I'm trying to tell you is Cade Cunningham is a number 1 overall pick, just like Anthony Edwards or Markelle Fultz or Ben Simmons or Andrew Wiggins or Anthony Bennett or any one of those other number 1 picks. This guy tonight, Victor Wembanyama, is being compared to a generational talent like a LeBron James. None of those other guys that I have mentioned would ever be in consideration or in the same conversation as a LeBron James changing type player.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. And we're going to continue on with this Rod Beard in 15 minutes from now. And I'm going to tell you where the Pistons have also screwed up and why they are so bad and have been for so long. And we'll get into lots of Pistons talk early on here. We'll get to some Lions and baseball in hour number 2. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the United States and Canada to work out for free all summer long from May 15th through August 31st. Planet Fitness's High School Summer Pass offers a solution for teenagers to stay active during the summer when school is out, and important academic and extracurricular programs such as sports, gym class, and after-school activities are in recess. Also, teens ages 14 through 19 who register for the High School Summer Pass can help win a scholarship for their school and participate in a TikTok video contest for a chance to win academic scholarships. And for the rest of us, Planet Fitness has all of the amenities, and you can get a membership for only $10 a month.
Only $10?
And you can even upgrade for a black card for $24.99. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays, 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch live, download our podcast. Leave a 5-star review, available anywhere.
Or clown emoji.
You listen to your podcasts. Of course, WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey in the big seat today. Braylon is out. He'll be back tomorrow. Sam Flannel in the audio booth. And, of course, JB, TD in the show for us today. Let me say this about the Pistons, too. This rebuild has been a long rebuild. I don't even know if you say it's a rebuild, but they have had missteps along the way. So one of the things that we were looking at earlier, our good friend Pistons Talk, Anthony Colombo put this out.
That's our boy.
The last 10 Pistons first-round draft picks. And it's a pretty crappy list, right? I mean, even if you go to the 2022 Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, you cannot in any way judge them. We think they're going to be good. In 2021, Cade Cunningham taken first overall. Okay, we see that. But here's where it gets interesting, all right? Let me start with 2015 and work my way back, if I could do that, okay? Right. In 2015, the Detroit Pistons selected Stanley Johnson, number 8 overall. Oof. Devin Booker was taken at 13. Okay? In 2016, Henry Ellenson was taken 18th overall. He has scored 787 career points, Henry Ellenson. At number 20, just 2 picks later, Karis LeVert was taken, who has scored 10,998 points. He scored 10,000 more points in the NBA. And even if you wanted to get even cuter, at pick 27, Pascal Siakam was taken, a perennial all-star. I mean, just one of the best power forwards in the game today. So that's 2015, 2016. In 2017, do I need to remind you, at number 12, Luke Kennard was taken at number 12. At number 13, Donovan Mitchell was taken at 13. And at number 14, you could have just gone the next 2. Bam Adebayo was taken to the Miami Heat. He's still playing right now. So if I just take those 3 years specifically right there, 2015, 2016, 2017, you would have a pretty damn good team. If you just started with Devin Booker, Pascal Siakam, and Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, my God. Now, Luke Kennard, in his defense,
there's no defending that.
He did get another contract. He got paid. He's a good player. He's not them, but he's a good player. Sam, am I wrong on that? Luke Kennard?
I mean, Luke Kennard, I think he led the NBA in three-point percentage. He's a solid role player, but obviously...
He's not in their category.
No, he's not in their category. But he's done most of his best work with other teams. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I just, again, you know...
That's a killer.
And I could sit up here, and this looks easy right now to do this. But if your job is to evaluate talent, this is how your franchise sucks. Right? This is how your franchise has been in mud for so many years because you have not had good drafts.
Well,
you had the ability to do that.
Well, Troy Weaver wasn't here yet.
I understand that, but I'm just kind of working backwards here.
I get it.
In 2018, you had no first-round draft pick. In 2019, with the 15th overall pick, you took Sekou Doumbouya. Not very good. Now he was taken later in the first round, but at 28, Jordan Poole was in that draft. Jordan Poole is going to make about $40-50 million a year this year. Or on the next contract, if he chooses to.
I don't know about that.
Maybe,
not after
either
the way
way.
He showed up in the playoffs.
Well, maybe there was some trauma that happened in the beginning of the season that maybe where he had an off year. Maybe he needs to get out of there.
Maybe.
Now, Troy Weaver comes in 2020. Troy Weaver, right? You want Troy Weaver to be a great evaluator, okay? With the number 7th overall pick.
Oh, no.
Troy Weaver selected Killian Hayes. Okay, took Killian Hayes. At number 12, okay? At number 12, couple of picks later, same position, Tyrese Halliburton was selected, who, by the way, this past season, averaged 20 points a game and 10 assists.
Not bad.
So I understand. Just please. If you're evaluating the talent, evaluate the talent. Now, we can't figure out about Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey or Jalen Duren. They look very good. Now, in 2020, do you know what the grade on Troy Weaver's draft was?
I feel like at the time it was graded pretty positively.
A+.
Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes, and then trades. So the Pistons had a lot of trades that year.
Yeah.
So they acquired the 16th and 18th pick that year. At 16, they took Isaiah Stewart, and at 19, they took Sadiq Bey. It was a really crappy draft. There was nobody really that came after that is worth.
He did okay in that draft.
That is worth noting. Okay. Yeah, not really, man. When you've got a guy, Tyrese Halliburton, who plays the same position as Killian Hayes, essentially, a guard position, and you've got one guy that can't get off the bench and is on his way out of town, and you've got the other guy who's on his way to, all-star caliber talent, scoring 20 and 10.
And one of those guys was already traded, Sadiq Bey.
I mean, I'm just saying, that's not that great.
Yeah. And like you said, that's not a great draft.
It's not a great draft.
So they missed on one good player.
Tyrese Maxey, I think that was a miss.
Okay, Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice there.
Right.
I was trying to be nice. But Maz, it's that one talent that is the difference between you having to reach on a player or having to go the free agent way to get a different player. I mean, that one player makes all the difference.
Well, let's compare.
How do you think the Portland Trailblazers felt? Oh, they just missed on that one player.
Wow.
Come on, man.
By the way, I watched Air last night.
Yeah, it's on that Prime, right?
I watched it.
I want to watch it.
I watched it, and I didn't love it, but you bring that up, and yeah, they did pass on a guy named Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so I mean, they just missed on the one guy.
That's all. You're right.
So when you
but they know Michael Jordan in that draft. But I get what you're saying. So far, you've built a hell of a team by taking guys underneath what we picked.
Just in 2015, 2016, 2017, okay? Yeah. If you had the proper talent evaluation, you could have taken Devin Booker, Pascal Siakam, and Donovan Mitchell.
It's a championship core.
You're in the East Finals for sure right now if you did that. For sure right now you're in the East Finals competing for a championship. Wow. Now, I know that because that didn't happen, people get fired over those decisions. And again, we'll see what Troy Weaver does, but no offense to Troy Weaver. And I know it's early on, but what has he ever done that really makes you believe this guy is the franchise whisperer, where he could turn this thing around?
Who did he build before? The Raptors? Is that
the OKC
Oklahoma City,
Thunder.
right? OKC. Yeah. So he was supposedly a great draft guru then. When we got him, he came in here and let's face it, he tore the entire team down. Mm-hmm. It's almost what the Bears did in this last draft. All they did is gather first round and second round picks, and you know what? He's reaching and he hasn't hit the jackpot yet. Tonight it's got to be number one, because I'm afraid what will happen 2, 3, 4, and 5. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you fall out of the top two, you're in big trouble. Rod Beard knows a lot more about that than me.
Yeah, and look, this is your entire franchise revolves around this one pick. This one lottery ball, your entire franchise. Now, I know Troy Weaver is going to tell me he's got to build a franchise if he doesn't have 2, 3, or excuse me, if he doesn't get number 1, if he ends up with 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're not going to fold up your tent and go home. You do have to, try to field the team. Yeah. But this thing is not championship level and will be nowhere close to championship level if they don't get that number 1 overall pick tonight.
That is true. It's funny how we go back down like the ghost of draft past, because 2020, as we said at the time, it seemed like good picks, but it's aging absolutely horribly. Cade Cunningham was the right pick, obviously, in 2021. I think getting Jalen Duren at 12, the swindling he was able to do was... I'll give Troy Weaver credit for that. Jaden Ivey, I think, was another one that kind of fell into his lap, but... Like you said, if they get Victor Wembanyama, if they get the number 1 overall pick, which they were the worst team in the NBA, we're talking about potential playoffs next year, at the very least play-in game. But yeah, Troy Weaver, he seems to have gotten a lot of equity with some fans, but he hasn't really done too much lately. They were the worst team in the league last year, albeit with a Cade Cunningham injury. So
they tanked.
People cannot overestimate how big this night is. Anything short of 1, and it's going to be disappointing. But unfortunately, what are the odds of them not getting 1? 86%? I feel like I'm setting myself up for heartbreak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. And then you look at, right, I mean, the head coaches, and we'll talk about the head coaching search as well. But there's a lot of question marks about this franchise. There is so much riding on this ping pong ball tonight. It sucks that it's got to be like this. I hate the fact that the Pistons have a 14% chance to get the number 1 overall pick. It should be a 50% chance. If you're going to have a lottery system, it should be a 50% chance. I mean, you've got Houston and San Antonio who have the same odds. Detroit, Houston, San Antonio each have a 14% chance at the top pick. Then Charlotte at 12.5% and Portland at 10.5%. Yep. And that happens tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN. We'll talk to Rod Beard, former Pistons beat writer.
He's my Pistons guy.
Now the assistant sports editor at the Detroit News. We'll talk to him next about how big this moment is for this franchise tonight. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you, 1 for your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, whoever you want. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Rod Beard next.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey. We'll get Rod Beard up and going in a couple of moments. Talking about the Detroit Pistons gang and, the coaches, too. I couldn't care less who the Pistons hire at coach.
Even Red Auerbach, right?
That story to me, is almost one of the biggest non-stories locally here. because it's all about the players. In basketball specifically, it is all about the roster, how it's made up. And right now, whether it's Charles Lee, Jaron Collins, Kevin Ollie, Monty Williams, Doc Rivers, who we could talk about today, Mike Budenholzer, it doesn't matter if they don't get Victor or not. And the reason I say that is because if you look around the history of the NBA, in recent history of the NBA, how many championships has Greg Popovich won since Tim Duncan left?
Not many.
Greg Popovich is a Hall of Fame head coach with Tim Duncan. Do you know what Greg Popovich is without Tim Duncan? He's a losing coach. He's got just as good a chance to land the number 1 overall pick tonight as Dwayne Casey and the Detroit Pistons have.
Well, Dwayne's not here.
Well, he's not here, but you get the point.
I do.
Sam
Flannel.
He coached the same amount of players. Not very good. Win-loss record. Phil Jackson, no different. Great with Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe. Yeah. How good is Phil Jackson without those guys?
Not good. He got ran out of New York because he couldn't do it.
David Blatt. David Blatt is a championship-winning head coach with LeBron James on his roster. Do you know what David Blatt is without LeBron James on his roster?
He's in Europe.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like the head coaching search for the Detroit Pistons is the biggest nothing burger to me because it's all about the roster, and it starts tonight with those ping pong balls. Let's bring him in. He's our guy. He's our number 1 selection when it comes to Pistons talk. Rod Beard, assistant sports editor of the Detroit News, former Pistons beat reporter as well on Twitter at Det News. Rod Beard. How are you, young man? So good to talk to you,
hey, Rod.
We do not hear you, Rod. I think, let's see. Not sure. Hold on. Hold, please.
Keep talking to us, Rod.
Rod, say something. No. Okay. We'll figure that out.
He looks good.
Oh. You look real good, though. You look stunning. You look stunning. I just can't hear you.
That woman that just passed the window was looking at herself. She looked good, too.
Oh, yeah, very good. All right, we'll try to get that rectified, Rod. But, Maz, in the meantime.
Like you were saying about these coaches, like Nick Nurse won a championship, and it was he had a guy on his team that hit a last-second shot. But why am I slipping here?
Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, thank you. So they do. You need and then without Kawhi Leonard, he's out of a job.
Right.
All these coaches of the year. Look, what's his name? Just got fired. He was coach of the year a year ago. Monty Williams, Dwayne Casey, coach of the year, fired, comes here, does whatever. It's a rebuild here. You need the players, man. You can't win without the players. You're absolutely right. Pat Riley can't win without the players.
No, and Doc Rivers got fired today, and that was pretty much expected. Look, I mean, it's a results-oriented business. You lose 5 consecutive Game 7s, and that's what he was faced with. He's lost 10 Game 7s overall. No other coach has lost more, but Doc Rivers with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen wins a championship. Without him, he doesn't. And it's just like it's not like these guys forget how to coach. And I think David Blatt is a perfect example of the point I'm trying to make. David Blatt can't even get a job in the NBA today. But when he had LeBron James on his roster, he won a championship.
Yep.
Frank Vogel is not an NBA head coach right now. A couple of years ago, he won a championship.
In the bubble.
With LeBron James.
I think Frank's a good coach, though.
Yeah, no, I think he's a good coach. I'm just saying, if you don't have players on your team, you don't look as good a head coach. Are we going to try Rod again? Okay, let's try Rod again. Let's see if this works. Rod Beard, can you see and hear me?
I can see you. Can't you hear me?
Yes. Very good. Very good.
I hope they don't have that much trouble tonight when the ping pong balls are bouncing around, Rod. Rod, just get me past pick 5, please. Just get me past that damn pick.
I mean, is 4 any better, though?
No. What I mean is 47% chance to get pick 5. Then it drops down into the teens after that.
See, if you're making wishes, give me the numbers. I need to get past 4. I can live with 2 or 3. 4 or 5 is just what was this whole season worth? Let's just do Men in Black and everybody look at this pen and let's forget about this season, because it's been abominable. It's been miserable to go 17-65 and to say the payoff is you're getting a number 4 or number 5 pick.
Jesus. Rod, characterize for me tonight and the viewers or listeners just how big this night is tonight, how big it is to get this player who many people believe is the most sought-after number 1 overall pick since LeBron James in 2003.
I don't think you can oversell it. I think it is because it's an international player from France. I think it brings the world's eye to the Detroit sports scene and to Detroit. You will have reporters and beat writers from all over the world who will come to that first Pistons game, and probably for that entire first season. You can't overstate the impact that it would have just from that standpoint. But then on the court, you have at the biggest position of need the most unique player that we've seen in an NBA draft, period. I don't think LeBron James was as unique. He's certainly more skilled and was at the time. But to be 7'5" with guard skills like Vic has is just different. You talk about unicorns. This dude is a straight up unicorn, a purple unicorn with flowers and stuff on its horn. I mean, it's ridiculous what his skill set is and what he can do. That being said, the pressure is going to be on, and the expectation of what he can do will be out over the window. You can't even quantify that stuff. But again, going in with Cade and with Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, this would be a tremendous addition to the roster, and I think it immediately throws the Pistons into playoffs.
Rod, you've covered the Pistons for so long. I love the Pistons. The Bad Boys Pistons are the reason that I became a sports fan. I love this franchise. It just feels like this franchise over the last decade and a half, I mean, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, you can hear a pin drop in this city. I don't want to say a dead franchise, but a dormant franchise. What does a guy, first of all, do you agree with that characterization? And what can this player do to kind of wake up a sleeping giant tonight?
I think he puts you on national TV a dozen times, at least. I think he brings the world's eye to Detroit, and people are talking about the Pistons in a way that they have not. When Cade came, there was this boost of energy and this boost of juice that came to the Pistons, but then that kind of fizzled when he got injured. This is, I think, just the buzz that it creates would be unparalleled. I don't think we've seen it. I just wrote a midday column about it. It's not the number 1 pick for Matthew Stafford. It's not Barry Sanders. It's not Calvin Johnson. It's not Iserman. It's not anything that we've seen. It's not Isaiah Thomas as the number 2 pick. For the Pistons, we've never seen a guy come into the league with this type of stature, with this type of hype, and this type of expectation. Cade Cunningham, people knew what was coming with him. The results just haven't been there yet. With all of that anticipation and the expectation, you add Victor Wembanyama to this roster at this time, this might be the biggest impact addition that we've seen in this city, in any team for any sport.
Hey, Rod, I find it I don't know, kind of weird. 20 years ago is when LeBron James was picked by the Cavaliers and the Pistons were on the clock and they took Darko. I just find that they took a turn at that point. I mean, they were a great team. They won a championship the next year. They went to a lot of Eastern Conference finals, but they took a turn where they could have really, really gone big had they taken one of those superstars that wasn't here. This is break even for that last 20 years. I think this guy is coming to Detroit.
I'm with you. I've been doing the Tankathon spins, and I've been just trying to measure things out. And you hear the people say that there is the NBA script that says San Antonio has to get him to be relevant again. I don't necessarily believe that. I think the Pistons could be relevant again, and there's probably more history and more legacy in Detroit as a sports town than San Antonio. And I think this is the thing that could do it. So you can be a conspiracy theorist. You can believe in one thing, that San Antonio is due for this pick. I would say that the Pistons are also due for this to put them right back in the conversation with some of the best in the league. And this is the window that is opening, that LeBron is on his way out in the next couple of years. This is for a young team to be able to get this last piece, to be able to put them in contention. If you want to be a conspiracy theorist that way, you can make that argument too.
Hey, Ryan was breaking down. We're with Rod Beard, by the way, Detroit News, assistant sports editor, Pistons man all the way, expert, I call him. He'll be joining our guys tonight on Woodward Sports on our special draft show tonight. I wanted to talk to you about the last bunch of first-round picks, and our good friend Pistons Talk put this out earlier today, and Ryan broke down all these picks. And let's put that up for him, JB. Ryan, I'll send it to you, but what could have been on these last 10 or 15 picks?
Well, it's you talk about evaluating talent, and if you don't get the number one overall pick tonight, Rod, you're not going to fold up your tent and close up shop. You have to field a team, and it goes back to talent evaluation. And in 2015, 2016, 2017 specifically, those 3 years, you look at the evaluation of the talent that came out of that draft. That's what gets people fired. In 2015, you take Stanley Johnson instead of Devin Booker. In 2016, you take Henry Ellenson instead of Pascal Siakam or Karis LeVert. In 2017, you take Luke Kennard instead of Donovan Mitchell or Bam Adebayo. You are going to have to evaluate the talent that is in this draft, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to get the second best player.
Yeah, I think that's the key here. And if you're talking about Troy Weaver, who has an eye for talent, the bottom of that list is the kind of distinguishable part. But when you look at the top of it, they go get Jalen Duren. They take Jaden Ivey where they were. Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bays were finds that developed a little bit better than other people thought that they would. So the drafting has gotten better, but I think that's a league-wide discussion. It wasn't that the guys that you mentioned were taking the pick after the Pistons. There were other people that passed on them too. And while we're on that, let's look at the Celtics right now with Jason Tatum, who's on his way to being a Finals MVP if Boston wins it all, that the Sixers traded the pick to get up to take Markelle Fultz instead of that. So they gave the Celtics, their bitter rival, the better player and draft picks in order to end up where they were. So it happens around the league so many times. When we talk about Giannis dropped to like 14. And if you listen to the podcast about what went on to get Giannis and the scouting and the backdoor kind of recruiting that they had to do to make sure that the Bucks were able to get Giannis, a lot of these things go on. Some teams are a lot better at it. The Pistons' draft history suggests that they've messed up a lot of these, and there were other players who could have been the better selection. But by all means, there are other teams who do a much worse job at it. The Sixers especially, with some of the other picks that they've had when they were in their process mode. Yes, they got Embiid right eventually. No, they didn't get Ben Simmons right. I would say the Sixers situation is worse. They're a playoff team. They made it to the second round of the playoffs this year, but the situation that they're in is progressively worse than where the Pistons were in terms of drafting.
Hey, Rod, can you hang on for 1 second? Can I take a 60-second break? Can you hang tight?
For you, Ryan, absolutely.
All right, let's do that. Rod's going to sit with us. We're going to take a break, come right back, but first a message from Randy Wise.
Let's get you Randy Wise. How about it? What could be better than watching celebrities like Braylon and D-Mac play some golf? Play golf yourself and be treated like a celebrity. That's what's better. Stop at any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak after that. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. Make the wise decision. Get to Randy Wise today for your chance to win.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment.
Rod just brought up something funny.
Yeah, let's bring back Rod Beard.
Listen, usually this draft lottery, Rod, is in Jersey, it's in Secaucus. Tonight it's in Chicago. And I don't like that. I see the Bulls have a 1.8 chance of getting the first pick. And the Blackhawks just robbed the NHL for Connor Bedard. Don't tell me Chicago is going to steal the number 1 pick from us.
No. You can't have teams that are 1.8% chance winning in that host city. It'd be like the Simpsons episode where there are pitchforks and kind of torches everybody out there rioting.
I just wanted to bring that up. I don't like it in Chicago at all.
Hey, Rod, let me ask you about the coaching situation here.
Does it matter?
Well, yeah. First and foremost,
it doesn't matter. You just said it. It doesn't matter.
I do feel like it doesn't matter. I mean, and I point out, I think the easy one is Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich is a Hall of Fame head coach with Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard. Without Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard, he's just as bad a coach as the Detroit Pistons have had over the last few years. I mean, this league, unlike anything else, is all about the players. Is it not?
I will go full Giannis and say all of the years that any of your successful, the Phil Jackson, the years that he didn't win a championship, was that a failure? Were those years failures? It's just a tough league, and coaching does matter to some degree, but you've got to have some semblance of talent. You're not just going to walk in with 5 randos from Lifetime Fitness and just be able to go and win a title. You have to have some talent to work with to start out.
No, but that's also a great point. Phil Jackson, right? And he wins in 91, 92, 93. He does it in 94, 95. But then he does it in 96, 97, 98. Interesting. Who would be your choice? Who would be your choice? Charles Lee, Jaron Collins, Kevin Ollie. Those are the names.
Doc Rivers.
Does Monty Williams? Is there any hope there? Or is Monty Williams going to go?
He's going to
go coach Giannis.
Yeah, I think there's hope for Monty Williams. I think there's some chance that Charles Lee just stays in Milwaukee. But Milwaukee views themselves as kind of a championship contender, so they may just try to go with one of these big name head coaches. The thing I like about this Pistons group of at least 3 that they're kind of calling finalists, there could be others, it could be somebody outside that box who gets the job, is that they're young coaches. And if you have Dwayne Casey who's moving into the front office, my thought is you would utilize his skill set and his wisdom with one of these younger assistants. I don't know if they can bring in a Monty Williams. There is the connection to Troy Weaver from the Oklahoma City days, but because there are so many high-level teams, your Phillies, your Milwaukees, your Phoenixes that are looking for somebody like that, a lot of these big-name head coaches are going to go, and it's just going to be musical chairs with those main jobs that are there. And the Pistons, I think, can settle for one of those assistants and be fine. I like Charles Lee. If all of the other stuff goes away, Charles Lee is the one that I think is the clubhouse leader.
Rod, how about this rumor of Isaiah Thomas, Zeke going to the Phoenix Suns? And we could put that tweet up for you as well. But the Phoenix Suns and Matt Ishbia taking Zeke. He likes his Detroit guys. Why the hell can't we have Zeke here if that's the case?
Wants to coach. I think Zeke wants to be in a front office. The coaching grind is just a little bit different. I don't see that for Zeke. And I talked to him a few weeks ago, and I asked just kind of what his next step, if he were to get back involved in the league in any way. And he said maybe in the front office. That's the best I can give you there. I just can't see him coaching. Right. That's just not what seems to be there.
How about the Final Four now? Let's get to the playoffs. You got the Lakers and the Nuggets, and you got the Heat and the Celtics. They're meeting for the 6th time in 13 years in the East. That Final Four, did you have them pegged at the beginning of the year?
No, we wanted Golden State. We didn't want the Lakers. Who wants the Lakers there?
You know I don't. Sam Flannel does.
Waiting. You just want the Lakers to go away at some point because it's just you know that the league is fawning over LeBron going for another title, and the people that want to make those MJ and LeBron comparisons want LeBron to get another title to say, see, he got this vagabond team of misfits there. And it's like, okay, he's LeBron, he's fine, but the West was just a debacle in the way the playoffs ended up turning out. So I just hope Denver is able to do it. I'd like to see Jokic get there and Boston, two really dynamic offensive teams with some players that you love to watch. For me, it's just watching the Lakers go through it again is not fun. I'd rather see Denver get there. Boston, sure, but Lakers in Boston isn't old school Lakers, and I don't know.
I'm with you, man.
Pass. Can we pass? Can we pass this and just do something else?
Can I ask you about the Miami Heat? They're a team that is no, they haven't won a championship, but they're a team that is as consistent as any team in sport. Almost. Probably like the Tampa Bay Rays a little bit, right?
And the Lightning.
They are so freaking good every year. And even as an 8 seed, they find themselves here in the East Finals with a legitimate shot to make it back to the NBA Finals. What is the magic that Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra have there?
I think it's Riley. He just knows how to put together a team. And for everything we talk about coaches, and look at Eric Spoelstra, who was just supposed to be this placeholder type of guy. He wasn't supposed to be as consistent and as excellent as he's become. That if you look at who are the top coaches in the league, you got to put Spo right there with everybody else that you say. And he hasn't had these magnificent teams in recent years. They've just kind of put it together with popsicle sticks and and glue to make this work. And you're right, Miami has been really, really good with a roster that people didn't think would be able to get there. That Kyle Lowry, was he the answer to all of this? No, but they made this thing work.
Last one for you, Rod. Does Doc Rivers get another shot? Does he want another shot?
He'll get another shot. And some team will reach out and say, hey, we just need you to get us there. And that's kind of where the Pistons could be, is to say we need somebody to get us there. And then we'll find somebody else to get us over the top, because we know that Doc isn't a closer in terms of Game 7s. That's been so widely reported. You've been in 10 Game 7s that you've lost. 10. That's an amazing number. But again, going back to Charles Lee on this, I think the Pistons are looking for somebody that can be a long-term answer, not a 2 or 3 year fix, but they're going to ride this out and construct with the heart of this roster. And if it's Vic, then it's Vic, and they're riding this coach as far as they can with this young roster that they've got, this young talent they've accumulated. So, no, I don't think Doc Rivers is the Pistons' answer, but he'll find another gig somewhere else.
Are we getting number 1 tonight? This is it.
Yes, I'm there.
Manifest it.
Let's get berets with Old English D's on it, and let's Detroit. Les Pistons de Detroit.
The great Rod Beard, assistant sports editor, Detroit News, former Pistons beat. You can follow him on Twitter at @DetNewsRod Beard. Of course, see him tonight on WoodwardSports.com. He'll be here talking Pistons tonight as we try to manifest that number 1 overall pick. Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rod.
Anytime, guys.
You got it. You know what's funny, Baz? Just going back to something that you asked, like the Isaiah Thomas thing, right? So there's a lot of rumors about Isaiah Thomas being named head coach of the Phoenix Suns. He was sitting front row in Matt Ishbia's seats in the final game that the Suns played the Denver Nuggets.
What did he lay down?
And Kevin Durant went up to him, gave him a couple of high fives, handshakes, and a couple of hugs. And I think the funny thing about it is Matt Ishbia is living my life experience.
Yes.
So Matt Ishbia is 1 year older than me. he was a sports fan when I was a sports fan.
Correct.
He's from the area. I'm from the area. Everything about Matt Ishbia,
except the money,
is exactly what I would be doing if I was a billionaire I bought a sports team.
That's great, Rye. That's phenomenal.
If I bought a baseball team, my first call would be to Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell. And I'd be like, hey, you want to come hang out with me a little bit? If I bought a basketball team, my first call would be Isaiah Thomas. And I would ask Isaiah Thomas to be whatever I wanted him to be at that point. Maybe a consultant for me. Hey, what do you want to do, Zeke? I want you around me. Do you want to be my GM? You want to be the president? You want to be the head coach? You want to be a consultant? You want to be an ambassador?
I love that.
Hey, Mateen, I
Big
love
Ben.
Hey, no,
Chauncey.
Mateen Cleaves. You want to be the motivational speaker at my company that I just want? Like, he is living exactly what I would do if I was him. We're the same age. 1 year older than me, he's got me on.
Man, you still got time.
If I bought a football team, you know who I'd call? Barry Sanders. Hey, Barry, you want a job? Come on, man.
Fonts?
Oh, I love this guy. I love Ishbia. I just love this guy. I mean, he's just doing what I would want to do.
I love that. That's a great take, and it's a fact. He is living all Detroit sports fans' lives. He's living our life. The only thing he's probably missing is owning the Detroit Pistons and not the Phoenix Suns. Maybe. I know he's got business out there, but I bet you he would have rather owned the Pistons.
Without question. And he even admitted that to Austin and everybody else.
Yep.
You know, these teams, no matter what league, they don't just go on sale like the Honeycrisp apples every fall or something like that. You know,
I'd go for one.
Yeah, you could. It's not just something that just comes up, pops up every year. I mean, there's a long wait. There's due diligence that needs to happen and all that good stuff. But if I was a hockey owner, you know who I'd call?
Darren McCarty.
And Steve Yzerman.
Yep. And Chris Draper.
Right. And
Guess
Drapes
what?
and Maltby.
They did call them.
Right.
Maltby.
I'd call those guys.
They did.
Draper, Maltby, McCarty,
Lidstrom.
Maybe Shanahan.
I'd love to bring Shanny back home.
Sergey, you want to coach?
Ozzy. Bring Ozzy back.
Seriously.
Dominator. Come on back, Dom.
Oh, God. Absolutely.
I'd even bring back Dougie Brown.
No doubt. All right, guys. So there you have it. So what time does that show start tonight? Do you know,
8
Matt?
o'clock.
8 o'clock tonight.
8 o'clock.
WoodwardSports.com. They'll be talking.
No, I think we're on at 7. I was talking about the draft.
Oh, we're on. Woodward Sports starts at 7 right after the heavyweights.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So stay tuned for that. More Pistons talk coming at you tonight. We are going to change it up. Talk a little Lions, baby. That's right. Little Lions with our good friend Doc Maakaron, SI.com. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing: stay out. Whether you are at home or on the road, customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. All you have to do is call this number, 1-800-STAY OUT. That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Ask for Jason.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni. Braylon is out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Tom Mazawey in the big chair. We've got Sam Flannel in the audio booth, chiming in every now and again. JB, the great Jeremy Bryant, TD, and for us today.
You got me really hankering to own a team or two or three.
What is just your
God, man.
living? That's your sandbox.
It really
now.
is.
That's your new sandbox.
That is a dream.
Oh God, it's
you
so
are
great.
Matt Ishbia.
I'd like to be.
Well, Matt Ishbia is you.
Right, I'd like to be.
Yeah.
No doubt. Hey, guys, let's talk a little Lions here. Publisher of all Lions, SI.com, on Twitter, at Detroit Podcast. John Doc Maakaron. Doc, how you doing, my friend? Thanks so much for the time.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, guys. Great to talk to you. Lots to talk about with the Pistons and Lions, man. Exciting night.
Before we get to the Lions, just your take on the Pistons, where they are as a franchise, and tonight's huge night, for lack of a better way to say
it. Who are you betting on?
Yeah, I'm kind of the guy that just says, you know what, I'm bracing myself for the disappointment. Obviously, seeing the Red Wings not getting their opportunity to move up in the draft, like you guys were talking earlier, thinking maybe San Antonio might get it. But it would be great if the Pistons landed Victor Wembanyama. But like a true skeptic, my vision also kind of the thoughts that permeate my head would be, of course, all this hype would surround Victor Wembanyama, and he turns out to be the next Sam Bowie, and the guy after him turns out to be the next all-world NBA player. So I'm just hoping, one, the Pistons do indeed land the number one pick, and two, you have to hope that this player at 7'5" remains healthy enough to develop to become this all-world LeBron player. When was the last time a LeBron, Michael Jordan-esque player landed with the Pistons? That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing. Hey, Doc, let's talk a little Lions now. Rookie minicamp out in Allen Park over the last weekend. Initial takeaways from that, if anything, were what?
Yeah, obviously, it's the first opportunity these rookies have to join the Lions. They're in meetings, and we had an opportunity before the players took the field to talk to assistant general manager Ray Agnew, and he told us that basically what the coaching staff was looking for was how good their movement was, how quick they could acclimate to the NFL system, and basically just to assess how smart these players were. And boy, obviously after the disappointment of not being able to see Jahmyr Gibbs, I was just very impressed with tight end Sam Laporta and linebacker Jack Campbell. Both guys from Iowa stood out as guys that are going to be foundational pieces for this football team for a long time to come.
Two guys that start day one, Laporta and Campbell?
Absolutely. You can count on them to start day one. First of all, I tend to lean on and focus more on defense, so I definitely watched up close Jack Campbell. The fluidity, the speed, the sheer size of this linebacker. You recognize in watching his film at Iowa, one of the top cover linebackers in all of college sports, and now you see how quick he can move. They had him at the Mike linebacker position right away in a leadership role. You think, and I probably am going to presume this is going to be in a year or two the green dot linebacker who will be in essence the quarterback of that defense. I do see his temperament, the shades of Chris Spielman, just being this hard-nosed, talented linebacker who's all business, and I just was so impressed with his movement and his sheer understanding already of what his responsibilities are.
We talk a lot about the Iowa guys. What about the Alabama guys? Obviously, round one, Jahmyr Gibbs. We could talk about him, and then Brian Branch just seems to be a player that so many people cannot believe he was there for them in the second round. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, both were not available for the portion of the practice that the media got to see. But you recognize that these two pieces from Alabama are going to be counted on very heavily and early. I think with Branch, it's going to take a little bit more time. Obviously, he's got a tougher hill to climb with that defensive backs room, but I think early on, you'll see him contribute heavily on special teams. But what the upside of a player like that is very versatile. You can put him in the slot, you can put him at safety, and he'll have success. Everybody, and like myself, a little disappointed we couldn't get our first glimpse of Jahmyr Gibbs, But when you see what he's capable of, and you see the potential with Gibbs, Laporta, St. Brown in this offense, and when Jamison Williams returns, you have so many great integral parts on this offense. These opposing defenses are going to be so challenged trying to stop this Detroit Lions team, especially in the second half. When Jamison returns, look out. I think Jahmyr Gibbs really has the potential day one to be a guy that can be really a nice piece in this offense.
I hope you're right, Doc. We're all praying for that. They signed about 16 undrafted free agents. Did any of them stick out to you? And we could put the list up for you. And a couple were added yesterday. Dylan Drummond from EMU, and they signed a former XFL kicker and John Parker Romo. So it looks like what's his name? Our kicker is going to have Badgley. The Money Badger is going to have a little competition.
Yeah, I thought exactly right. The one who stood out, obviously, was Dylan Drummond. Showcased a ton of speed out there from Eastern Michigan during a special teams drill. Just was really blown by the opposing defenders, trying to put a move on the others, trying to stop them. But at the same time, definitely the kicker competition, when you see what Romo was able to do in the XFL, I think it'll be a healthy competition. But the one who stood out to me, obviously, because there was only one quarterback and one running back at the portion that we got to watch, was Mohamed Ibrahim. I just think that he showcased a lot of what the front office is going to like. A power runner, can be somebody that I think has a chance to, throughout training camp, make a name for himself. I think that he's got, obviously some skills that the Lions are going to like in terms of being a power back. Definitely was being showcased heavily. Adrian Martinez tossed him several passes, and you realize, okay, this is a young developing player that the Lions may want to develop, is going to be a nice competition with Craig Reynolds during training camp. So those were the three that caught my attention out there on Saturday.
Now, you mentioned Adrian Martinez. We know Hendon Hooker basically is taking a red shirt for this year, but what's your take on the backup quarterback going forward? Do you think they reach in to the free agent pool, pull a Teddy Bridgewater out, or do you think they're going to ride with Nate Sudfeld and maybe Adrian Martinez?
Yeah, that's such a tough question because by all accounts from what you're hearing from the Lions, they really do like and respect what Nate Sudfeld brings to the table. That's why, indeed, he was brought back. Yes, Hendon Hooker, I don't think sees the field at all in 2023, and it will be a redshirt year for him to get acclimated to the NFL lifestyle and getting caught up to Ben Johnson's offensive scheme. But you look at it and you say, okay, this is a football team that if something does happen to Jared Goff, it would cause quite the concern. But the silver lining is if Nate Sudfeld, despite the fact he doesn't have a lot of in-game experience, you still have the makings of an offense that I think you can get by for a couple weeks. If it's a long-term injury to Jared Goff, I just think that the Lions are going to just unfortunately have to struggle and suffer. But if it's just a couple games, you look at the offensive weapons with that offensive line and a revamped defense, you can get by with a Nate Sudfeld. I just don't think, because if Teddy Bridgewater by now did not take their significant offer, I think he looks at that landscape and says, obviously Hendon Hooker is going to be the developmental quarterback. I think he might look for another opportunity. Adrian Martinez, still very raw. I think he'll spend the year on the practice squad with Detroit. But I just think that and it's tough to accept, I know, because we always look for better, but if something happens to Goff, I think the backup quarterback this year all throughout will be Nate Sudfeld.
Oh, boy.
Talking to Doc Maakaron, publisher of All Lions, SI.com, on Twitter, at Detroit Podcast. Doc, let me ask you about your initial impression of the schedule when it came out on Thursday. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about that. We did our game by game. I had 13 wins. I think Maz had 11.
Yeah. But I was pushing for 12.
Right. What about you? How do you see the schedule this year?
Yeah, I'm right in the middle. I had it at All Lions right away when the schedule was posted. I have them at 12-5. I absolutely love this schedule for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, it's going to be tough that first game against Kansas City, but all the eyes of the NFL world are going to be on the Detroit Lions and the Chiefs that Thursday. And you just can't discount how important that is for the Lions brand to have the entire NFL media world be there the opening night, the only game that will be aired that Thursday to open the season. I look at that schedule and I look at the Lions roster, their revamped defense, not a lot of games on there where you say the Lions won't be favored in. So I'm excited. I see basically a schedule that allows the Lions to get plenty of rest, not too many losses based on the schedule, maybe a couple where they're coming off of short rest. But after the best part for a reporter, after the second half of the year, they don't travel too much to cold weather cities. So it's a schedule that really lines up for the Detroit Lions. And by the time they get things rolling with Jamison Williams, they're going to be a football team that's going to be reckoned with. And I do see 11 wins being the minimum that this football team can accomplish because of the upgraded talent, what they have going on with that offense. And I think it's a hungry football team that still has that bitter taste in their mouth from not making the playoffs. They're bitter and they're hungry, and they know they didn't prove nothing last year.
What's your take on the primetime schedule, the primetime games? The Lions get 5, including Thanksgiving. The Packers get 6. I mean, what is the NFL seeing that maybe we're not seeing?
Yeah, well, obviously the Packers, they have a passionate fan base that still supports everything that they do. So when you look at it, it's not based on the talent on the field. Obviously, when you lose Aaron Rodgers, it's the fact it's a hungry football market that doesn't have too much outside of the Green Bay Packers. But with the Lions, I think it's a great opportunity to showcase what this rebuild is all about. And we had an inkling that they were going to get more than just the one when the schedule was being talked about. And you look at everything going on, and the football team deserves it. Based on last year going 8-2 down the stretch, you see a lot of star potential. And I said this too in a recent podcast with Detroit Sports Podcast. I said, what does the NFL look for? Entertainment and ratings. I think that when you see the hype surrounding the Detroit Lions and you see an offense that can score points, why wouldn't you put them in as many featured games as possible? The team is entertaining. So many times before, it was just a boring football team. Last year, it was an exciting second half of the year filled with good plays, deep plays, and now you have some stars that you can market across the NFL. So absolutely well-deserved for the Lions to be featured because they do have some talent that needs to be showcased in primetime.
Hey, Doc, there's a player with the New York Jets. Everyone is licking their chops at trying to make a run at Quinnen Williams. He stepped out on his Twitter, and he kind of took off the New York Jets out of his Twitter handle. So Quinnen Williams is pissed. He wants $30 to $60 million. This guy does.
Give it to him.
25,
pay the man.
He wants $25 to $30 million a year to play football.
He earned it.
I don't know if the Jets could afford him now that they have Aaron Rodgers there and all these wide receivers and players that Aaron Rodgers wanted them to sign. I doubt the Jets are going to do anything. But in Lions, in a dream, what would you give up to go and get that guy for this team? And what would he mean to the Lions?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not a guy that likes to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I was one of the ones first that once it was reported 2 weeks ago that Quinnen Williams was nowhere near a contract, I said, go get him. It is clear that obviously based on my experience knowing that the Lions were far apart with DeAndre Swift, they moved on from him. So once it was being reported that Quinnen Williams is not happy, this guy is the piece. Now, it's a dream scenario, guys. Obviously, I am a dreamer, and I love adding talent and love playing GM. But if there is any avenue of getting this player, this is the player that if he's brought to Detroit would make you a Super Bowl caliber team this year because he demands so much attention, double-digit sacks, and one of the biggest needs for the Lions is the interior of the defensive line. And he would immediately make Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Aleem McNeil unstoppable forces. So for me, they're not my draft picks. It's not my money. So I would give up 2 first-rounders and pay the man because you just don't have too many Aaron Donald-type players out there. And I know people get worried about draft capital and what that means for the future. Look, Brad Holmes was part of the Rams team that when they got to that point, they started giving away their draft picks for acquired and established talent. So whatever it takes, if it takes $25 million, obviously you're going to have to get creative and backload that contract so that the first couple years you're taking maybe $10 to $15 million cap hits for the first couple years, and then it'll balloon later while you wait for the salary cap to go up. It would take creativity. It would take a major commitment. And I just don't think that the Lions feel they're that one player away just yet. In fact, Brett Holmes said that they didn't feel going into this draft that they're one player away. But boy, would that take the Lions to a significant spot in the NFL to be able to compete with the Eagles and the 49ers. If you plug Keenan Williams in, whatever it takes is what I would offer to go get him. I would make that move in a heartbeat and twice on Sunday. I love that player.
Amen.
I thought about that a lot today, too. And just to wrap it up with you, Doc, I appreciate you spending this time with us. I mean, I do think it has to be, not has to be, but I just think it's in the conversation that you can't give up a number one pick next year because the draft is here. And
oh, yeah.
you know, I agree with you. I would do it in a second because I think if you could walk a Super Bowl trophy out on that stage, it would be a lot better than a card. But I do think that is a consideration in any trade and not trading picks away next year.
No, it's understood, and I know it's a long shot. But, Ryan, look, what's more entertaining than a football team in 2023 that's going to be on prime time, not only just winning games, but winning them handily, stopping opponents on defense. Keenan Williams in the middle, Jack Campbell behind him. Now you have an offense that's going to score an average of 28 points a game. Now you're talking some serious opportunities for the Lions. And, look, Detroit's going to show out no matter if the Lions have 8 picks or if they have 4. So I'm not worried about the entertainment value. Detroit's going to bring it for the draft based on the excitement level and for the Lions. And I'm just I'm of the opinion, and I know people look at the short term and the long term. I'm always in win now mode because you just never know what's going to happen to certain players, what's going to happen with certain attitudes. If you have an opportunity to bring pieces where you're deficient and you can bring one of the top end defensive tackles, I would do it in a heartbeat. And regardless of where the draft is being held, the Lions are really, I think, 2 more impactful pieces away from not only just talking about getting to the playoffs, but making some noise. You're that close, guys.
I'm with you.
Me too.
I'm with you. Hey, follow the Doc on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, publisher of all Lions, SI.com. Doc Maakaron, thanks so much, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Doc.
Always enjoy. It's going to be a fun year.
You got it, no doubt about it. Guys, I got to get to a break. When we come back, big NFL news that came out yesterday. We'll talk about it, but first a message from Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy, you know the deal. It's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy, and once you get on down there and start with breakfast, the classic breakfast items like the strawberry hotcakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, why not try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or a salad? How about the summer splash salad for a little refreshing lunch or even dinner? And don't forget, grab dessert. Especially if you're having a salad, grab dessert at the end. You get their very delicious classic strawberry pie and the deep fried vanilla Oreos and a lot more at Luke, his favorite, and Ryan's favorite.
Oh yeah, love
Big
that
Boy.
Sunday. Love that hot fudge sundae.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni and Tom Mazawey. Braylon is out today. We've got Sam Flannel in the house. And
Braylon's getting
JB.
ready for the draft lottery.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Andy Appleby, owner and CEO of the USPBL, the United Shore Professional Baseball League. We'll talk to him in about 11 minutes or so. In the meantime, I do want to talk about something that happened yesterday, Tom Mazawey.
This is horrible. Horrible.
The NFL announced that they are going to be playing a wild card football game on Peacock behind a paywall. So Sunday Night Football at NBC, Peacock will present a Saturday night NFL wildcard game. It'll be played on January 13th, 2024. Your initial impression of this, Tom Mazawey, was?
Garbage. I hate it. And now you have Peacock. First of all, I hate watching
Do you pay
games.
for the premium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's included in my package.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to miss anything, so I have pretty much everything. But this makes me very sad. This is the playoffs, man.
Playoffs?
Not only that, not only are they getting a playoff game that they're going to stream, they are also getting another Saturday game that they're going to stream. Exclusive. You can't get it anywhere else. You can't get it on your phone. You can't get it anywhere. It's exclusive on Peacock. And it's streaming. Now, look, streaming is great. I know that's the way to go.
As we're streaming live right now.
Correct. But to find a playoff game, and for people that don't have Peacock or don't even know what the hell it is, it's not good. And when you watch a game on Prime, you can't change the channel on the commercials. You can't do all the things you do. You can't pause it. You can't rewind it. You can, but it buffers and it ruins it. Before you know it, you're missing all kinds of stuff. It's just a horrible idea. I mean, we all know streaming, we got it. We understand. But the playoffs, you know what's coming next, guys. The Super Bowl, you're going to be paying for it. I don't know when, but you're going to be paying for it. And it sucks.
So here's the deal with the Peacock game. NBC paid $110 million for this one game for 1 year. It's essentially a trial.
Yep.
If it works, there will be more of them. If it doesn't work, there won't be more of them in the short-term future, in the near future. So this year, the NFL will air football games on Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, ESPN, Amazon Prime, and the NFL Network. It's a lot of different networks to air your league.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are already jumping on me. Get off my lawn, Maz, all of that.
Well,
Maz
no.
don't like it,
Here,
of course.
I'm going to back you up on this for a minute. Okay, so Peacock Premium, by the way, to get this game, you'll have to pay $4.99 a month or $49.99 a year to get the game. That is what you will have to pay. Mike McCarthy, a tweet right there. Okay, great. If your local team is in this is part of the deal here as well that makes me feel a little bit okay about it. If your local team is in it, for instance, if the Lions are playing this wild card game on Premium, on this
that
Peacock,
wild card weekend,
they will put the game on your local NBC station if the game is part of your local network.
Correct.
So if the Lions are playing, it'll be on Channel 4.
That's what they do for ESPN Monday Night Football.
Exactly.
They'll put it on ABC if the Lions are.
If it's not the Lions, if it's the Dallas Cowboys, which they would never put the Cowboys on that game probably, but if it is the Cowboys, it won't be on Channel 4. So
this will be an AFC game, and they will go and get the corpse of Al Michaels and put him on the microphone. So that makes it doubly worse for me.
So I don't think this is going to work.
I hope you're right.
And I'll tell you why. We all know the world is going digital. That is not even a question.
Correct.
But for whatever reason, people still like to watch their sports on over-the-air television. That's just what they like to do. And for all the reasons, Maz, you have pointed out, in 2022, Amazon Prime, the Thursday Night Football averaged 9.6 million viewers per game.
That's very low.
That was a 41% drop, nearly half. 41% drop from 2021 numbers when Thursday Night Football was on Fox. 16.2 million average per game. On Fox over the air, 9.6 million viewers per game on Prime. Now, Amazon paid $1 billion per year. That is through 2033.
And they get Black Friday.
And they get the Black Friday game. But again, Amazon Prime, 41% fewer viewers on Thursday Night Football than the year prior. So we'll see where this goes. Sam Flannel, where are you on this?
I think one of the reasons why me and Maz get along so well is I'm a little bit of an old soul myself. So call me get off my lawn as well, but I don't necessarily like it. And Ryan, you have the stats to back it up. People want to watch their sports, their football on just like Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, ESPN. I don't know. I've just never I don't like where this is going, and I hope that this trial fails miserably. I do. I'll be honest. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I have every channel, guys. I'm not going to be having to pay extra for it. I already do. It just sucks to watch a game and to talk into your remote and say Amazon Prime or Peacock. Then you got to wait. Who's watching this? Is it dad? Is it mom? Or is it the kids? Let me click on it. Meanwhile, I've missed 5 minutes of the game by the time it buffers up to come. Instead of me coming home and going, oh my God, I got to put the game on. Power on, NBC. Boop. Pause it. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. You can't do that.
So a couple of people in the chat are talking about how the Thursday schedule sucked last year.
It doesn't matter.
Now, I don't really know. I don't remember what the Thursday night schedule was the year before in 2021. I don't remember that. I don't know if it was if it was so great. But even in 2020, the Thursday night schedule averaged 15.8 million.
Yes.
So it's a very minor year over year from 2020 to 2021. Very minor. A couple of 100,000. You were talking millions of fewer viewers on Amazon Prime. Now, as a football fan, as somebody who lives for football, I'll watch any game, every game. I forgot about the Prime Video games on Thursdays. And if I clicked out of them like halftime, I forgot to go back.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as easy
Correct.
to do that.
It sucks. Before the Prime had it, before Amazon had it, the Thursday night games were shared by Fox, CBS, or Fox and NBC. They shared them, not NBC. Thursday was never on NBC. It was always Fox and CBS. They had half, and the other guys had half. I always loved when Fox got it because we got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. That was great. And now they farm it over, and they put two guys together that have never worked together, and Al Michaels
and Herb Street.
And Kirk Herbstreit. I love Herbie. Michaels has mailed it in. He's done. But you know what? They still go to him anyway because they paid him a lot of money, and that's what they do. But it's, you guys know, I don't got to tell you, it's different when you're watching on a streaming service than it is on a regular channel.
Hey,
you can do so much more when it's on a regular channel.
I got a dumb question for you.
And you can tape it, record it on your DVR like I do. I can't record these games now.
Very stupid question for you. Can you bet on these games? And
Yeah.
Not that's a terrible way to put it. Because of the streaming, because of the delay,
Yeah.
the play-by-play.
The sports books are ahead.
That's what I mean. The play-by-play of it. Like the next play, because you could bet on every play.
Sure, I get it. It's delayed.
I know. So
majorly.
So that's probably something you can't do.
Maybe you're right.
Which I would think is a major hit to the sports books if you can't sit there and bet. I mean, if you were a degenerate like me, you were betting every play, every series, every final result. I'm just being honest.
Right.
I mean, you could bet if the next play is going to be a pass or a run.
Yep.
Is that something you could do when a game is being streamed?
I think you could, because I still believe that the sports books are way ahead, or they freeze it. Have you noticed when you want to go to put a bet in, and you want to put a bet in, and the lock is on it? So they're waiting, obviously, until it's safe for them to take a bet.
Todd says, can't live bet a streamed game. Sportsbook's always about 10 seconds ahead. That's a big deal. So you probably have to watch the game on your phone and on your phone through the sportsbook.
Yeah.
Just see the score, because you can have the clock, you have the score, you have the down and distance, and then you place your bet, and then you look up and see what happened. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Well, I don't like it. It's happening, but I don't like it. And like I said, there's another game that's going to be streamed on Peacock as well, and it's going to be an exclusive game that you can't watch unless you have it.
All right, guys, I got to take a break. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll talk to Andy Appleby of the U.S. PBL. We'll talk to him about Season 8 for that league. But next, I want to stick with the NFL for just a couple of more minutes.
Absolutely.
But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, the Barada family has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You could experience the Fairway difference yourself today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. And if you can't do that, look them up online, fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. They ship anywhere, sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
The NFL is trying to get this Black Friday game going a little bit. And the New York Jets, like the Thanksgiving Day game belongs to the Lions and the Cowboys. Well, the Jets are one of several teams that would like that to be a permanent staple on their schedule.
The Bengals led that.
Is to host the Black Friday game. The Bengals there.
The Bengals really wanted it. They were the first team to put into the NFL, we want this. And if you remember, the Bengals were one of the teams that used to bitch about the Lions having Thanksgiving. I remember that back in the day. So, the Bengals want Black Friday. I don't give a damn. Give the Bengals Black Friday. They'll come out in their black unis. Black tiger unis.
And apparently the NFL also looked at a potential matchup between the Eagles and Giants before settling on the Dolphins and Jets for that game.
Always in New York.
So those are the two teams as I'm looking through this story, the Jets and the Bengals. Should this game be a rotating game or should it belong to somebody? And I obviously think it should be a rotating game.
Absolutely. I'm with you as well. But you know what? They're all going to bring up Thanksgiving. Why does Dallas get it? Why does Detroit get it every year? That's why they shut everyone up and added a third game and said, okay, you guys got a chance to be on the night game. This game has definitely got to be moving around. No question about it. You don't want to just get stuck with one team every day. What if we used to watch the Lions on
What would be the argument for having it be in one spot?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a logical argument. I will say this, and maybe this is me being too much of a fan of nostalgia. I really like being able to watch the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Same.
There's just something about it that's special to me. So maybe there's enough people like me that want to create a new tradition for a team that plays on Black Friday every single year. I don't think it'll ever get to that. I would say probably keep it rotating, but that would be the argument, at least in terms of the fan perspective.
And if this was a situation where you had to pick, between the Bengals and the Jets, I would obviously pick the Bengals.
You would?
And the reason I would do that is because Joe Burrow is going to have a longer career than Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, it'd be great to watch Aaron Rodgers maybe this year and next. But
hey, he's getting Zach Wilson ready. Don't you know that?
No, I mean
Zach Wilson is his wingman. He's going to bring Zach Wilson up to the stature of that number 1 pick from last year. You don't believe that, do you?
No.
Okay.
I do not believe that.
All right. By the way, Joe Burrow, I love him. My girls all love him. They're like screensaver heaven is Joe Burrow, but he did have a bad knee injury back in the day, so you never know. I don't want to jinx the guy, but you never know.
Yeah, Joe Burrow absolutely is.
By the way, about the Bengals and about Joe Burrow, let me tell you a little about
Joe Burrow.
Let me tell you something about Joe Burrow.
Tell me something about Joe Burrow.
This is what kind of kid this guy is. Joe Burrow is paying for 20 families in Cincinnati to receive mental health treatment at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. How about that?
That's pretty awesome.
He's laying out a lot of dough for this.
Yeah, they couldn't narrow down the families that needed help. So they just helped all of them.
Pretty cool.
How great is that? That's what it's all about.
That's as good as you get.
That absolutely is.
Look at that kid.
He's got it all. He's got it all, doesn't he?
He does, and that's my Super Bowl pick still. I'm sticking with it. Even though all these quarterbacks have changed homes and all, I'm sticking with the Bengals. I believe in them, and they're my preseason Super Bowl pick yet.
All right, good stuff, guys. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the owner and CEO of the United Shore Professional Baseball League. They are beginning their season 8 this weekend. Very good stuff. We'll talk to Andy Appleby next and get back to the NFL a little bit and some baseball too.
I got some good baseball stuff.
Some great baseball stuff. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
All right, Cousins Maine Lobster. You know the scoop. There's a couple of those Cousins Maine Lobster food trucks rolling around Detroit and, of course, the Metro Detroit area. So you got to know where they are so you can order the best seafood that you have ever had. That place, believe me, that kitchen is spectacular in these trucks. Click on that QR code on the side of me there. It'll take you right to their webpage, and you can download their schedule and their app for free. And if you start ordering ahead of time, like our good friend Lindsay Hunter does, start developing, getting some points added to your account, you start saving money, and then you can eat, well, practically for free because it's that great. You think you're in New England, but you're here in Detroit. CousinsMaineLobster.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, welcome back. WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Tom Mazawey on the big desk. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Coming up on 44,000 subscribers on that platform. Pretty good stuff there. And hit that like button for us as well. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Go to WoodwardSports.com for all the latest news, articles, updates, show clips, and merchandise. It is a big weekend out in Utica. Andy Appleby is the owner and CEO of the United Shore Professional Baseball League, and he joins us now. Andy, how are you, my friend? So good to talk to you. So good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you, both of you. I miss you, too.
I saw your smiling face on Fox 2 earlier this morning. My only regret was that it wasn't me out there this morning swinging the bat a little bit and shagging some flies.
Yeah, it's incredible. And, of course, both of you have been big supporters of us from day one. But incredible, this is our 8th season, believe it or not. And incredible also that we've had 46 of our players signed by major league clubs and 4 major leaguers. I really have told the story recently a lot that if there were any detractors from us 7 years ago, it was maybe some of the baseball know-it-alls out there that thought we would never get a major leaguer or never really have anybody good play out there. But it's been incredible. And this year, I was just talking to the managers. They've never seen the level of talent. And like anything else, I think players see that when you have four players come out of this league and become major leaguers, it gives them a real path to success if they're good enough and if they improve and if their character is spot on.
Andy, obviously you never launch a business thinking it's going to fail. Otherwise, you wouldn't launch it. But if you go back 8-9 years ago when the wheels are spinning a little bit, did you imagine it be as successful as it is? I mean, you're going to sell out more than half your games this year. As you mentioned, all of the players that have gone on and had a chance in Major League Baseball organizations. And then, of course, the 4 that did make it ultimately to MLB.
Yeah, absolutely, in the sense that has it been way beyond my wildest dreams at almost every level? Yes, and especially as it relates to like our giving back. Let me take an example of that. Yes, I knew building a beautiful ballpark like this where we would be able to do some good things for people. But did I ever dream that we'd have 1,100 charities leverage our ballpark to raise money? Did I ever dream that we'd have 65,000 kids in our reading program? Probably not. You mentioned the baseball. The level of sponsorship and partnership has been fantastic, but I can't really take all that credit. In fact, I can't take a lot of that credit. It really goes to our staff because we treat every game like the World Series, as you know, and we pretty much kiss every man, woman, and child twice there, and I think people really appreciate it. And I also would say that from day one, people in this community appreciated what we brought to the party, in the sense that we have a very much affordable, fun family setup, great baseball, patriotism. But if there was anything positive about the pandemic for us, is that people appreciate us even more. The whole family values, affordable, fun, great entertainment, great service level, all about the American flag, and one really big X factor for us, no politics. And, because politics is so heightened, it's not about red or blue at our ballpark. Come here.
That's Tom Mazawey's favorite part of
that is my favorite.
That's his favorite part of it.
I don't like politics. I don't talk about it. I don't pay attention to it. I just want to see great baseball, Andy. And you know what? I saw a guy, Randy Dobnik, pitch for you guys and then go pitch for the Minnesota Twins, actually pitching in a playoff game against the New York Yankees. I never rooted for a guy more than that, and I'm a Yankee fan.
Yes, well, interestingly enough, and this is what I love about those players you mentioned, I could call any one of them and they would say that without the USPBL, they very well might not even be playing baseball today. And that's something that, every time I see one of our players throw a pitch or get in at bat or hit a home run in the major leagues, it's just a crazy feeling of pride.
Listen, the venue is, to me, second to none. I love Jimmy John's Field. It is a beautiful place to watch a game. There's no bad seats. I love the suites. I love the fireplaces. Matter of fact, I was just telling my girls, I got 3 young girls, and I was like, you guys got to take your friends and go down to the USPBL and watch these games. Now, my girls, they like baseball, but, they're more like people watching, taking pictures for Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. And that park is tailor-made for that kind of experience.
It is. And, there are very few places on earth these days, Tom, where you can have a place where you can play football, let them go get their own Dippin' Dots. Those are just, all of us on this line, we did whatever we wanted as kids. But in today's world, people feel like you have to put a tether to have your kid play in your own yard. But we're a real safe zone. And in the latest survey, we had 98% of our fans felt that it was a safe zone for them, which is incredible just in this world that we live in today.
I'm a huge wiffle ball fan. You guys still have that beautiful little field there to play wiffle ball at?
Just there this morning, and it was just like, I just love it. It's the greatest wiffle ball field. And I have to say to you, Tom, we have 20 to 30 kids deep from the moment we open our gates until we shoo them out of there 45 minutes later. It's crazy.
That. It's great.
And even the players, and a lot of times I'll put them up to these kind of things, but I didn't. I don't put them up to this, and they'll go down and throw to these kids in their uniform before a game sometimes.
Phenomenal.
Andy, we're big fans of your league. We're big fans of what you do in the community. And those players, man, they play hard. It's good baseball. It's a great venue, whether it's a date night out or you want to take the family, go see some affordable, approachable baseball. It's great stuff, man. USPBL.com is the website. Tickets and everything else you want on that site right there for you. Andy, thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate it, my friend. And we got to have a Woodward Sports Night out at the park one of these nights.
Anytime.
You got it. Andy Appleby.
Thanks,
He is
Andy.
the owner and CEO of the USPBL. It is their 8th year. And, again, what they do in the community, I've been out there before. I threw out the first pitch out there before. Yeah, it's so cool, man.
Hey, they got 3 games this weekend, guys. Friday's the opener. The 2 teams are Utica against Birmingham and Bluefield. That's the Beavers and the Unicorns. That is at 7:05. And then Saturday they got a doubleheader. The Woolly Mammoths of the West Side against the Diamond Hoppers of the East Side. Starts at 5:30. Second game's at 7:30. Fireworks on Friday, by the way. And I think it's Italian Heritage Night on Saturday. So there's going to be some great food out at the ballpark.
All right. Good stuff there. Get your tickets, USPBL.com. We are going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, did you see how many fans were at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum last night to watch the A's play, professional baseball team?
Did you watch Aaron Judge's eyes?
Oh, as well? Lots of baseball and the Tigers and the Buccos tonight. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right.
Closing in.
You are, baby.
I'm
getting close to your number.
To do is say yes.
Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out. They're on Woodward, just down the road from us, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, serving you anything you want. They got a great service department there as well. Find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
All right, here we go. Tom Mazawey, big news here regarding the Derby. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. But kick us off here, Tom, with a little baseball talk.
Hey, before we get into the Oakland A's, if you'd missed it yesterday, Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs against the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays announcers kind of caught this. Dan Shulman, Buck Martinez, great announcers. And they kind of saw Aaron Judge standing up there and kind of like side-eyeing before the next pitch came. He was like looking away, but just before the pitch was coming, his eyes were shifting to either where the catcher was going to line up or into the dugout or the wherever.
Totally fair game.
He kind of found something, I think, that maybe the Blue Jays were tipping off their pitches. Maybe they weren't. He said he was just paying attention to the guys chirping in the dugout, which we know is bull.
Now, Dan Shulman was in Buck Martinez. They were
did
like,
it right ahead.
They knew it right away, and they called it out, and they were disgusted when that ball was just hammered.
He hammered it.
I'm sorry. If you were doing something, tipping your pitches, I'm sorry, that is fair game. That is.
I agree.
Now,
as long as you're not banging on a trash can or
in
electronically sending something,
I agree.
I'm fine.
I agree with you. 100%.
So we're going to see where this goes. But Aaron,
he's gonna get plunked tonight. Now
Aaron Judge is on fire.
He's gonna get plunked tonight. You know he is.
Yeah, he probably.
What
is.
happened in Oakland, Maz?
Look for a fight tonight between the Yanks and Toronto. In Oakland last night, let me show you the scene at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
Sad.
2,000 fans.
Paid fans. That's not the in attendance.
They probably had about 600 people there, maybe, watching a professional game last night in Oakland, which takes us.
Meanwhile, they had 5,000 at their women's soccer club game, the Oakland Soul SC. 5,000.
Women's soccer is exploding, by the way. The women's soccer professional leagues is exploding. But back to the A's. We all know they're a vagabond team. They started in Kansas City, the Kansas City A's. They went to
Philadelphia,
Philly, then Kansas City, and now Oakland. They're going to Vegas. All right, let's put it up. They have found their place in Las Vegas. All they need is the okay from the rest of the owners to say you can move. I think they move next year. I think they move into a minor league park in Vegas. They'd probably get a nice crowd. For sure, they'd pack the place. And they are gone. They are going to be on the site of the old Tropicana Hotel in Vegas. The Vegas A's to meet up with the Oakland, well, now Las Vegas Raiders and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They're only missing basketball now, right?
Well, what about Orlando? The Orlando Magic co-founder Pat Williams pitching a $1.7 billion stadium across from SeaWorld. The Orlando Dreamers hoping to lure either an MLB expansion team or the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep. The Rays belong somewhere where they loved. And you know what? This is only 70 miles from St. Pete. So Rays fans that do show up at Tropicana Field can get in their car and go to Orlando if they really want to see the Rays. Save the Rays, for crying out loud. They're the best team in all of sports, the way they play and the way they handle their business. But the Oakland A's, give them a break as well. I know, listen, this is a money grab. We all know. The Oakland A's owners, all the owners, they want to make money. They've screwed the fans in Oakland. The downside is in California, they don't allow for public funding on any stadium. In Vegas, they're going to get about $600 million from public funding to go on their $1.5 billion stadium.
Yeah, they don't do a lot.
They don't do it. They let all their teams go.
They don't give you any. Well, I better not.
Go ahead.
Never mind. I was going to say something about how bad they let the San Francisco, Oakland area go over there.
Another shooting with a shoplifter yesterday, leaving Walgreens.
I mean, just terrible what's happened to the San Francisco, Oakland area.
I hear like if you go to a Target or something there, everything's behind like plexiglass.
Yeah, like in locked cases. Good. Check out Dave Chappelle on what he said about San Francisco recently. It's unbelievable.
They don't have any. I mean, Oakland's got no more teams.
Yeah,
that's it. A great sports city that they once
Raiders
were.
Gone, A's gone, Warriors gone. And even the 49ers don't play in San Francisco
they play in Santa
anymore.
Clara.
That's right. No doubt. So, Maz, last one, Derby here. Talk to me about the Derby.
Well, they got Tigers in Pittsburgh tonight. I got on down there to the ballpark. Should be a good game. They got Michael Lorenzen going. The Derby winner was Mage, as we know, and he paid, $15 to win.
He paid $15 to win.
Paid like $30 to win, $32 to win.
He paid it
the Preakness is the second jewel of the Triple Crown. It's run in Baltimore at Pimlico. No Derby horses have followed Mage.
Why?
To Preakness. I don't know why.
What about the front runner?
Nope. Two Phils stayed back.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to run him into Belmont. There are 8 horses in the Preakness led by Mage.
Oh, Mage is definitely taking that one.
Well, he's got some company. I like National Treasure to give him a good run. National Treasure. In an 8-horse field, Ryan, anybody could win.
In an 8-horse field, though, it feels like you could probably come up with some combos to hit the trifecta.
Very much. Only 3 out of 8 instead of 20 horses running.
Right.
I talked to Mike O'Hara earlier today, and Pimlico at the Preakness was his favorite stop. Because back in the day, the Free Press, the news, all the big local sports plays sent their people to the Triple Crown. Do you know, he told me, if you went to the Preakness, if you went to the Belmont in New York, which is in 3 weeks, they would have a limo at your hotel in the morning to take you to Belmont Park and back. I mean, it was Sport of Kings back in the 70s.
You haven't been as excited to talk about anything today as you are.
I want Mage to win. Because I want him to have two of the jewels of the Triple Crown with an outside chance of winning the Triple Crown at Belmont in 3 weeks.
Very good.
It's a great. I know. How many horses died? How many horses are going to die? I know all of that.
Who asked you about that?
Oh, everyone, every single person
Who's saying that?
On my timeline, I will see. Hey, Maz, how many horses died today? How many horses died today? What can I tell you? It's horse racing.
We love you guys.
They try to make it safe.
All right. Hey, Maz, great job out of you today. JB, love you. Sam Flannel, you rock. Thanks to you for watching, for listening, however you're consuming Woodward Sports. We certainly appreciate it. Check us out all throughout the day on social media as well.
Don't forget tonight.
Numero uno. Go Pistons.
Woodward Sports is going to have it for you. Tune in. Kool-Aid and Company.
Kool-Aid.